In this video, I'm going to help you understand the importance of feeling your way into your best life rather than thinking your way into it. So if you're an empath, if you're a light worker, if you're a sensitive person, this is going to help you a lot. I'm going to be talking about 3 things you can do to discern how to actually feel your way into your best life. And then at the end, I'm going to be giving you an energy clearing statement you can use to separate yourself from negative or fearful sort of energy fields, which can impact your ability to connect to your highest vision and to feel it for yourself. So stay tuned. My name is Adam. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we get started, I just want to let you know I'm doing free breakthrough calls. There's a link pinned in the comment section below. These are awesome 30-minute calls. We will go over your vision for your life, what's stopping you, and some steps you can take to really get into your power. Now, let's begin. So I know that it can be very difficult when you want to create something or the life that you want, or, joy, happiness, freedom, the life of your vision. It can be very difficult to know exactly what steps to take or how to find your way through that or to it. And one of the most important things to understand is that it's more about feeling. It's way, way, way more about feeling. We've been conditioned for so many years, decades and centuries to listen to our mind. And that was part of what was going on the planet. That was part of our evolutionary process. We were developing and strengthening the mind, and we were living in the world of the mind. And the mind is great, but we all know the mind is not your master. We don't want our minds to be our master. And now more than ever, we are shifting into a whole new way of manifesting, and it's important to understand the mind's role. The mind is secondary. It is especially when it comes to manifestation, when it comes to everything, but especially understanding if you're trying to manifest, the mind is not what you want to be listening to. It's your feelings. So in order to really be able to listen to your feelings and allow your feelings to create your reality, we have to understand our feelings. We have to understand our emotions. We have to learn how to process them, know what they're trying to tell us, be able to discern what they are, where they come from. So before I get into the 3 things to help you discern your next step or how to feel your way through or into your best life, I want to tell a quick story. So, for about 4 years, I worked for somebody, I don't want to badmouth them, but they were a little bit narcissistic, and they were my boss, and it was a very difficult position for me to be in. I felt like I spent many years being hazed into a fraternity that I didn't even really want to be in to begin with. It was a very unsafe environment. As an empath, it was extremely difficult. Every little thing that I did wrong or anyone did wrong was met with hate and you're the stupidest fucking person in the world. And I was very afraid to leave this position because I had job security during a massive healing process that I was going through when I wasn't ready to really step into my purpose and make money from it. So I needed some sort of a job, and I had been bouncing around from job to job to job for years. And so I got sort of stuck. I was, an empath in a relationship with a narcissist, but it wasn't a romantic relationship. It was like a business relationship. But this was the person that I had spent the most amount of time around for 4 years. And I knew it was time to get out, but my mind was terrified. It was absolutely terrified. And I just kept doubting myself. I'm like, do I leave? Do I not leave? Because if I leave, what's going to happen? And where's the money going to come from? And what do I do? What ended up happening was I kept getting these calls internally in terms of how I felt. In terms of how bad I felt in the position. And 2, how good it would feel to leave. And I would say I actually had an opportunity about 1.5 years before I left to get out, and I didn't take it because I was too afraid. And I was like, well, no, I just don't have the money, and I don't know where the next step's going to come from, and I'm safe, and I'm sick, and I'm not healthy, and I need to stay. And I don't know that that was true. But when COVID hit, I saw a doorway. I saw a way out. And I could feel it. And this is my point. I felt what it would feel like to get out. I felt what it would feel like to be on the other side of this. And I went through months of like needing to be coached and needing to be guided and calling this one woman to like rile me up to confirm it was the right step to take. But my point is, what I kept coming back to, because I would meditate, I would douse, is this the right decision? And I kept getting a yes, 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 yes. But what I learned was I could feel the other side. And it felt really, really good. I had no idea how it was going to unfold. I had no idea how I was going to get there. I didn't have a lot of trust and faith that everything would work out, but I had enough to take the leap. But I kept, when I would calm down, and I wasn't running around in my monkey mind like terrified, I would just feel this sort of joyful call, this resonance with the other side of getting out. And then I had the opportunity to get on unemployment and to go to Ashland and rest and take time off. But in order to do that, I had to go through these massive layers of fear. I had to send this resignation letter that like I almost went into shock sending because I was so afraid I was going to lose like my financial security. Okay. So now I'm going to go over 3 things to help you discern how to feel your way, into your highest vision. Now, the first thing is this, and this comes back to the mind and emotion and manifestation. When you have a vision, pay attention to how you feel in the vision, not so much the pictures that you see. We have a tendency to hang on very tightly to the picture in our mind. Now, I'm not saying the picture in your mind is never correct. Sometimes it is. But it also, the mind tends to be more specific. It's like, oh, the picture means this, and it doesn't necessarily mean this. Like I would have visions for years of standing on stage speaking. But then my mind was like, oh, that means I'm supposed to be a stand-up comic because I wanted to do comedy, and maybe it does in the future. But the point more for me was that I'm called to speak. The vision was the feeling of me speaking and expressing my truth. That's much more general than I need to be a stand-up comic who goes through the ladder at the Comedy Store and then ends up on tour and then goes through all these sequences of events that the mind thinks you need to follow in order to get to the vision. For many, many eons, we have attached very strongly to the picture of manifestation. It's not the picture. It's the feeling. The feeling will lead you to the next step and the next step and the next step. And it's basically never linear. And it never goes the way the mind thinks it's going to go. So if you have a vision in your mind, tap more into what it makes you feel. What do you feel in that vision? Because the picture may be similar and it may look nothing like that when you get there. It's how you feel. Number 2, never listen to how you feel when you're in fear. A lot of times, like motivational speakers and mindset coaches will say things to the extent of fuck what you feel. And that can be a little bit damaging, not on purpose, but the subconscious mind, tends to take everything literally. I mean, at least I did. So when I would hear fuck what you feel, I would then be like, fuck everything that I feel and try to shut down all my emotions. That's not what they're generally saying to do, but that's how I would take it. So I just want to offer a little clarity on this point. Fuck what you feel if you're in a lot of fear. It's more like fuck the part of the ego that's trying to talk you out of what's best for you. So like if you have a vision or a calling to do something that you really want to do and then your shit comes up and you get all scared, kind of fuck that what you feel. Fuck what you feel there because it's trying to talk you out of living your best life. Now, this can be tricky too because if you have a lot of trauma, sometimes you're not quite ready to take the step, and to push through the fear can be traumatizing, and that just takes, balance. It's like sometimes you go through, sometimes you step back and rest and heal and all of that. But ultimately, you want to understand that you want to listen to how you feel when you're in a state of love and joy and peace. So a good suggestion might be, to meditate a little, when you're in nature, when you're in a calm, peaceful space, what keeps coming back to you? Because if it's a vision and it's a calling of where you want to be going, it will keep coming up. It's not going to come up once and then leave and you're never going to hear it again. So look for consistency in what comes to you when you're in that kind of space. A lot of times it comes when you're not really thinking about it. Maybe when you're on a walk, or when you're in the shower, when you're with friends and you feel comfortable. Like those visions from the state of feeling, the vision will kind of guide you to the next step to create that feeling. So only listen to yourself when you're in a state of love. And the number 3 thing to help you discern like how to feel your way into your best life. Always unlink from the media, the external, and other people's thoughts and emotions. And I will leave a little bit of a clearing that you can do at the end here to do that. But what happens is the subconscious mind is so impressionable. And the media, I don't want to get too much into it. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on. Nobody knows what the fuck is actually going on. And regardless of what is or isn't going on, the intention of it is to put you into fear and terror. It's to paralyze you. It's never, even if the information is accurate, it's not told in a way that's empowering to anyone. And I think basically anyone with, 2 cents of a brain at this point knows that. I'm not judging people who don't know it, but seriously, come on already. Be mindful of what you watch. Be very mindful of what you watch. If you like to watch horror films, that's okay, but just know that there's an energy to it. There's an energy to it that you're connecting to when you watch horror films over and over again that's gonna put you in a fearful state, and it's gonna make it difficult for you to get into states of love and joy that are gonna help you to feel your way into your best life, because you're gonna be programmed with terror. And the mind actually links to these energy fields. Everything has an energy field. A movie has an energy field. Music has energy fields. People have energy fields. Like group ideologies have energy. Everything has an energy field, and your mind links to it. So if you don't unlink from it, the energy of whatever you are watching will still be informing you and with you a little bit, which will make it difficult to get into those states where you can really feel your highest vision and then be guided through it. And this doesn't mean you want to put your head in the sand and not pay any attention to what's going on, but everybody has a different level of how involved they need to be with the reality. And again, a lot of it is just bullshit. So it's like paying attention to a bunch of lies doesn't really do many people that much good. Anyway, I find that I used to be very, very into like what's going on behind the scenes, and I learned a lot and it was important, but I found that now I have enough of an understanding that I take it in very small doses, and then I clear myself from it and I go back to focusing on what I want to create. Because if you are in your highest state, your most loving, benevolent state, connected to your higher self's vision, that's all you need to do. Everything else will work itself out, because it will be someone else's higher self's vision to go into that stuff if they're really meant to, okay? And the other thing you want to do is unlink from people, because we get very, like I said, we get linked to other people's energy fields when we're around them, when we hang out with them, and it's okay. But when you leave, you want to detach. You want to detach so you can come back into your own space, so you can trust your feelings more and more to guide you where you need to go. And of course, emotional intelligence and all of that is extremely important. I've done videos on that and I'll do more. So here's a quick energy clearing statement you can use that I find very, very helpful, and I use it a lot, even to this day. So if you watch a film, or if you watch the news, or if you're around a person and you feel sort of stuck in that energy, you can say this: Spirit world, spirit guides, I ask that you take any and all help necessary to heal my relationship with whatever it was, the person, the place, the thing, the film, the event, the news. Remove any negative energies, entities, traumas, curses with everything they've created and co-created. Send all negative energies to their proper places in the universe, and return all truthful soul energies to me from all time and all space, healed, purified, and transformed, and reintegrated. Thank you. It is done. And then just sort of like see yourself disconnecting and give permission for any of that energy to just leave you. It will take the charge. Like if you watch the news and you're like all in terror, it will take some of the charge out of it, because you're disconnecting from the energy field of the news media or the fear or whatever it is that you were in. I will put that below in the description so you can read it. Anyway, I hope this helps. It makes a huge difference to understand the difference between the mind and the emotions, and to start following your feelings, and to start following your feelings when you're in a positive state. Please let me know if you have any questions or revelations or breakthroughs. I love to hear from you. I also have a free energy clearing in the description below that you can use regularly just to kind of clear yourself. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Other than that, thank you so much. I appreciate you very much. I look forward to next time, and peace.